Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And my card for this week's Color Throwdown Challenge, which I will have the link to the Color Throwdown Challenge in my blog post. The blog post is linked directly below in the description box. It'll be the first link, and all the info will be in there, like always. And always, side note, for those looking, the supplies I use, certain products, I get asked that a lot. They are always listed and linked directly below the video in the description box. It's all there for you guys to find. Super, super simple. And yeah, this ended up being a floral card. It nearly ended up being a Halloween card, but last minute I changed my mind and decided to go with generic. But it could have been. It could have been a non-traditional Halloween card too. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot of makers lately using black soot distress ink to add this really neat depth to die cuts and whatnot, and on florals. Trust me when you see it, it's interesting. I never would have thought to do this. And then recently Dawn+9 did one, which I'm still got ideas. I want to copy her card because it's just... And then Kath Stewart did one, and I've just seen other ones pop up, and I'm like, I need to do that. So that's what I did, and it gives it such a neat look. So just keep watching, and I'll show you guys how I made this card. So as is tradition, I did all my die cutting ahead of time, and I pulled out my Waffle Flower, the big grip mat, just kind of hold my little die cuts in place. And this first one is the bloom of the Sunrise stem wafer die set. And I die cut those parts from just white cardstock. And then adding just a tiny bit of shading with Lost Shadow distress ink with just a light hand. And I've shown this with other die cuts. Even if it's a stamped image, anything you want to be white, adding a bit of shading gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit more dimension. You can either use light grays, light purples, really light blues. Those work too. I went with Lost Shadow because it was just a nice shade of gray, and it'll just kind of pull it into everything else. So I just used my little blending brush, very, very light hand, and blended that into just the centers of these pieces. And then I'm going to pull out the black soot distress ink. But for these, I just wanted that little bit of gray just to make the white. It just makes the white look more white, and it just gives everything a little bit more depth. And you'll see that as I put everything together. So did that first because that was my lightest color, and I'm going to use the same blending brush for everything. So black soot, love it, absolutely love it. It just... it is perfection. So the greenery for those florals, I die cut from just some Simon leaf green cardstock and then black soot distress ink. And again, you start with a light hand. If your ink pad's really juicy, be even more careful. Mine, I can't even remember the last time I've re-inked my distress ink pads. Generally, I don't re-ink them until I'm doing something like an ink smushing technique and I really start to notice it's ooh, not a whole lot's coming out of here. It's time to re-ink. But I legit can't remember the last time I re-inked this, so I don't have to worry about it being too juicy. But regardless, you start with a light hand and then you build it up. So I had die cut these from scraps of green cardstock. So the leaf was partially cut off, but that was fine. I just trimmed it right off the stem. Doesn't need to be there. Don't care. And with all of the blending, I kept it more concentrated towards the stems, the base of the leaves, and then we just kind of pull the ink out, towards the tips. And that's it. Super, super simple. And as it all comes together, it starts looking better. When it's all just random bits and pieces, it's okay then. The centers I die cut from just some dark gray cardstock. I think this is Simon's SLATE cardstock. I think that's what I'll link to anyway. Just dark gray cardstock. And the centers I just at first just kept in the little scrap that I die cut it from, and then pulled it out and added just a little bit more of the black soot ink to the very base of the little flower center. And yeah, and then I'll just go on and blend onto all my other little die cut pieces, because I also, of course, pulled out the Windswept leaves wafer die set. This one's been in a bajillion videos. I've lost track of how many times I've used it because it's one of my favorites. And I use just the same green cardstock because again, the challenge was like green, gray, and aqua, I think. Again, I'll have a link to it in my blog post, but it was easier to keep everything like the same shade of green. And then adding that black soot, it just... And again, as I was getting closer to like finishing these cards, I was like, ooh, this really would totally work for Halloween, you know? But I don't know. I changed my mind, decided to make it just a kind of a generic, any occasion sort of card. But you guys know, if you watch my Halloween series, that I like to make a lot of cards that could really go either way. You know, the only difference is like, slap a Halloween sentiment on it. You know, why not? There are no rules, really. Anyway. For my next little set of flowers, I was using the layered Perky flower die set. And again, die cut some of the green cardstock, just scraps of the green cardstock for the stem and leaves. The parts of the flowers that it die cuts, I just ignore those because I'll trim those off when I actually adhere everything together. And then I die cut some AUDREY blue cardstock. And this is where everything looks at the moment like a hot mess. You know, I kept them in the scrap because it was just easier. And then I pull the pieces out and add a bit more of the black soot ink. And I'm not sure, either my camera cut off or just there was chaos. There was a lot of chaos going on when I was making this. But got all the pieces blended. Wiped off my grip mat. I've had people asking about that. It's the same photopolymer, like the same quality photopolymer as photopolymer stamps. So you clean it the same way you clean your stamps. So I just wipe it off. Black soot does stain. Yeah, it stains photopolymer. I don't care, but I'm just going to mention it, you know, but stained tools are loved tools. So set that aside and then got to assembling all of these florals. So the whole sunrise stem here, super simple. You just layer the smaller one on top of the bigger one, add the center, and then I left that as is because I'll, you know, decide how I adhere it when I adhere it to the card front. And then the little layered Perky flower, this one also very simple. The biggest piece is the base, and then you add the kind of V-shaped dual petals and then the individual petal. That's it. And there's a big one and a small one. And then once they're all layered together, then it all kind of makes sense and doesn't look like a hot mess. So this one I did twice. And yeah, I cut off everything but kind of the base of the petals on the green piece because that's all you need, just something to adhere the actual florals to. And got everything adhered. And then for my card front, I am going to use more dark gray cardstock. And I'm going to use Simon's Margot tile embossing folder. I've used this in a couple videos. I love it. I don't know. It reminds me of like, have you ever seen like tin tile ceilings in really old homes? I love a good tin tile ceiling. It's gorgeous. That's what this reminds me of. But anyway, my way of using Simon's embossing folders is my Spellbinders Platinum 6. I have the original platform and I have 2 metal shims and then the embossing folder with the cardstock in it. I always mist my cardstock. I lay out my flower sack cloth just to keep me from getting water sprayed all over the place. Lightly mist the cardstock. Doesn't need much. That just helps soften the paper fibers so that this will emboss its impression even better. And then I stick the paper into the embossing folder and then I'll run it through my die cut machine. And after I had embossed this, I sat and admired it for a bit because it's just like, it's so pretty. And the detail. Again, I've used this one many times and I love embossing folders. The more I use them, I love the texture they give. So this is the front of the embossing folder. I ended up deciding to use the back of it for my card because both sides are gorgeous. But this is how it looks on the front. And then I ended up flipping it over. I trimmed it down a little bit. It was originally A2 size. So I trimmed it down to like 4 inches by 5 1/4, just slightly smaller than what my A2 card base will be, so that the card base will kind of frame it out a bit. And after I had trimmed it down, I took that black soot distress ink again, and this time just used a larger blending brush and blended this all around the perimeter kind of heavily. I wanted just that dark, moody look to it. And then I used much lighter pressure and not as much ink to just kind of apply it across the entire background, just to kind of pick up a little bit more of the pattern and kind of alleviate a bit more of the halo effect. Sometimes I like that. It just depends on my mood. But for this, I just wanted, again, it was a dark mood. That's literally, I was in a dark mood when I was making this, and making it made me feel better. So it's all good. Card making is therapy. So after I blended the background, that's when I decided to switch to a generic theme card. So I pulled out the CZ Design Scripty Hello wafer die. The outline I die cut from white cardstock, and I added a bit of that same Lost Shadow Distress ink to it. So it's not like bright white. It'll just kind of blend in a little bit more. And then the Hello word I die cut from a scrap of that AUDREY blue cardstock and added the black soot distress ink to that as well, keeping it more kind of concentrated towards the bottom and keeping it in the scrap of cardstock because that just holds it in place and makes my life a little easier. So after I got that blended, pop it out of the scrap of cardstock so that I can adhere them together. I did not stack this sentiment. Normally that is what I do because that is one of my rules. Dimension is life. But I knew I'm going to have a lot of dimension and with all the layers when I adhere all the florals and everything to the background. So I was like, this is one of those few times where you can get away with there's no point adding, stacking the sentiment. You still could, and it looks amazing. But yeah, I'm going to have quite a bit of depth going on with the actual florals, which, speaking of, and I've said this before, I very much struggle with floral arrangements. I'm not even, because I don't know how long I laid them out over and over again. And it was one of those things where I had to follow one of my rules for once, because I always tell you guys, this is what you should do. And I never follow the rules, but I did get up and walk away a couple times because I was just so frustrated because it wasn't looking right, So I was like, okay, walk away, come back to it with fresh eyes. And I had to do it a couple times because I was like, it's just, nope, it's not working. It's not working. Second or third time's the charm. And then I was like, okay, let's just do this. Stop overthinking it. Get it on the card front. So I did. And yeah, I started with the sunrise stems, adhered the stems and leaves and the blooms, and then the windswept leaves that I love, and then layered on one of the little layered perky flowers, so I got things going here. I got kind of a cluster going on. And once I've got that one adhered, I didn't want to add the full second one because by this point, there's getting to be a lot going on. But I decided, again, just to trim off the smaller one. And I was like, ooh, I can just tuck that in there. It'll just stick right in there perfectly. So trim that off, trim the little leaf off of it, and then just adhered it into place. Once I've got that adhered, I just flip over the card front and I trimmed off just the stem for now that's kind of peeking off the bottom of this. And then the other parts I'll deal with later. And then, of course, I added gold splatter because, yeah, you guys know. You guys know. So I used my Gonzai Tommy Gold watercolor, added some water, mix that up really well, put the card front into my splat box, used my fan brush, and splattered gold onto the background. Then I took this is some DMC metallic thread. I finally got my hands on some of these in a couple different shades. And these are the same metallic thread that everyone's loving to use for stitching, all the die cuts that have been coming out that are for stitching on cards and that sort of stuff, which is something I love. I just haven't done it in a while, but this thread's really pretty. But dealing with metallic thread, you 100% need reverse tweezers if you want to tie a bow with metallic thread on a card front. It's a little finicky because metallic thread is very, very slippery, So I just used my reverse tweezers. This is sped up in editing. It did take me a bit longer to fiddle with because you're just kind of fighting with the thread, but it's so pretty. And I doubled it up because while it's thicker than your standard thread, it's still thinner than average embroidery thread. I'd say it's about, because it's 2-3 ply. Yeah, I think it's 3 little metallic threads woven together. And your average actual embroidery thread's 6-ish, something like that. So it's thinner. So I doubled it up, wrapped it around, tied it in place. And then I added my sentiment with some foam adhesive just to kind of level out the sentiment a bit on top of all that dimension. And then my card base will be a top folding A2 white note card. And I put that into my Misty. And I'm using a sentiment from the stamp set that comes in the September card kit from Simon Says Stamp. The stamp set is available separately. And I also had done a video already unboxing that kit and making a couple cards. I still have more I'm going to be making. But yeah, the Be Happy set, I like the sentiments in there. And the thank you sentiment was perfect. Like just basic, because a lot of the other, pretty much all the other sentiments instead, it's like sending sunshine. I'm like, that doesn't really work with a moody card that's all like black. The black shading I added to it. So I was like, maybe not the right sentiment, but the thank you sentiment worked just nicely. So I stamped that onto the inside of the card with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Added the remaining bit of that floral that I had trimmed off. So that was perfect, just finished off the inside real nice. And then adhered the card front to the card base, again, just using craft tacky glue. And then flipped it over and just cut off those two little bits of the leaves that were, hanging past the edge of the card so that this will fit in a standard A2 envelope. And then as my final bit of embellishment, some Trinity stamps, gloss black embellishments, and just kind of sprinkled those around these florals for that little extra something. So once I was kind of happy with the placement of them, I adhered them into place with little dabs of craft tacky glue. And that little bottle, that's just a Gina K precision bottle that I use for little things like this, little fiddly die cuts, etc. I'll have a link to it in the supplies, just like everything else. And yeah, that finished off this card. So I will have a link below the video to said blog post and a link to the color throwdown challenge in the blog. I'll have my supply list with links to everything. That'll be below. Links to my social medias, links to other videos at the end of this video. It's all there. So you can check that out below or at the end if you're interested. And as always, thank you guys so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping and commenting. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.